All right, you're good?
Good.
We're good. Okay. So, welcome to Northern Perspective, episode 15, 15 and 15
15.
deep. So, this is the seventh for this calendar year of 2026. This here is a debrief with context of North Glengarry's July 13th and 29 council meeting. The 29th latter was a committee of the whole meeting. So today on Northern Perspective, we sit down with Mayor Jamie MacDonald to unpack both of those meetings. That includes sort of updates on the future amalgamation of the Raisin River Conservation Authority, elections preparation ahead of the 2026 municipal election, some zoning changes, supporting some rural development, continuing investments in recreation and municipal infrastructure. So we will explore some community grant opportunities, building activity road improvements, a whole slew of things, especially long-term investments in North Glengarry. So welcome, Jamie.
Thank you for
And
having me.
thanks for being part of this debrief as always.
Thank you.
So let's start with the topics, our topics right now. So the Conservation Authority amalgamation. So Council, we received an update on the upcoming amalgamation of the Raisin River Conservation Authority. That is going to be the St. Lawrence Regional Conservation Authority, and this is effective February 2027. So your staff emphasized that local services and conservation programs will continue while administrative functions are consolidated. So how will this new conservation authority affect residents of North Glengarry, and are there any measures in place to ensure that local priorities, phone numbers or whatever,
Yep.
are still going to be
Yeah, so we've been told that through the people that we currently work with that we shouldn't see too much of a change. They are going to be keeping an office where they're currently located at Grays Creek, just outside of Cornwall. And we've been told that we will still be a priority with dealing with the issues that we have, and ours is mostly to do with our Tri-Lake system, the Lochgarry, Middle Lake, and Mill Pond. So we don't think that we'll be seeing much of a difference. It's just the amalgamation more, I think, at the top end of it. So that part will, be a wait and see attitude on that. But I think that we'll still be well looked after.
they're starting to put things into place like
Yep.
phone numbers, contacts, and where will their head office? Where do they say are they going to be?
So this one I'm not exactly sure, but the new head of this area will be out of I believe it's the Rideau office.
Okay.
So I'm assuming maybe that might be the head office, but I would imagine that the person in charge will be
And
at all of our.
how big is this conservation?
So pretty much from this side of Kingston down,
Okay.
it would be all part of that St. Lawrence. It's called, I think, the East St. Lawrence region.
Okay. Okay. So municipal election oversight. So council approved appointments to the joint committee, joint compliance audit committee for the 2026-2030 municipal election cycle. So can you tell us what is the joint compliance audit committee, and how do residents benefit or have access to audit reports?
Yes. So this committee only comes into play if there is a complaint about one candidate's election financing. So we're required to open a bank account. We're required, there's parameters on how we receive donations or those kinds of things. So everything has to go into our bank account. Everything that we use or purchase for the election itself, signs, if you're having a coffee party and you go buy the coffee, you have to have all of that accounted for in your account. And
So it's sort of like a little CRA of
exactly. And so if there are no complaints, then that audit committee doesn't have to meet. And the public is free to access those online after the election once they've been certified. And after every, even if you win or lose, every candidate needs to fill out that form. So if you did not fill out that form in the prescribed time, you would not qualify to run in the next election.
Okay. Okay. So council also adopted some amendments for election sign bylaws.
Yep.
There were some updates there. So you established council a 45-day campaign sign period before election day. So why was it important to sort of to update the election sign rules, and does this create a little more fairness for candidates and residents? Why was this done?
So typically that's always been the way, 45 days prior to an election. Some municipalities do it as of September 1st. I think 45 days is long enough for signs to be up, and I think, the public would grow tired of seeing signs up for a more prolonged period. I think it's definitely visual pollution,
Yeah.
and if you look at provincial and federal, when they're competing, you'll see that their campaigns are generally 30 to 40 days long total. I mean,
Yeah.
the municipal campaign's a little bit longer than that,
Yeah.
and so I think it's just gives everybody a date that they set up their signs
And is
and
there
go.
sort of the same thing for the tear down of the signs as well?
Yeah, you have, I believe, I'd have to look, but I think you have 7 days
Okay.
to bring them down. If not, then township staff will go take them down as they, the roads department as they go by things. So
Okay. Supporting some community events, council approved a temporary road closure for the annual Show and Shine fundraiser supporting the Glengarry Memorial Hospital. So when is this event, and what roads are going to be closed?
so that event was supposed to take place in at the end of June. Or sorry, it was supposed to take place at the beginning of July, and it did not
Okay.
because it was rained out.
Okay.
So they'll be doing something again. Can't remember exactly, but it'll be in August sometime.
Is that at the same place?
It's
Or?
at the Atlantic. So
At
the
the
Atlantic is putting this on, and we were, closing down uh, the McDougall Street up to the train station, and then doing Dominion Street up to Elm Street.
So basically, the event has been postponed, but the
It has been
sort of
postponed, and
but the
no,
road closure will
will
be
probably
postponed
happen in
as
the
well.
future. So obviously notifying all the residents, everybody was hand delivered. So
Okay.
we'll do that again. And I think it's important it's a big event, and we want to make sure it's safe for everyone, and
Yeah.
we don't have cars driving through the middle of
Yeah.
motorcycles all parked against.
Yeah,
And
I have to say that I did notice that Township did a really, really good job for the Main Street in Alexandria
yeah,
with the two trucks parked, shiny trucks, parked at either end. I think it was just very important and very a good decision to
yeah,
put those.
and there was a drop done to I live in the area, so there was a drop done at my place as well. But to all the residents in that area, just notifying them how to get around and maneuver during the Main Street closure. So no, I think it's good to help these events out, and it's for the hospital. So that's always a good event.
Okay, so the municipal partnerships and property agreements, we're going to just mostly on the partnership. So you approve several agreements for municipal property, drainage, and so forth. But the partnerships include the support for Glengarry Encore Education Center. So how does the township support the Encore Education Center?
So we rent the Gary Shepherd Hall to them, and part of this agreement was just to allow us to rent the space when it's not in use by them. Originally, they had everything set up so that we couldn't really rent it out. So I think it's a plus for us, and very nice of them to because they do pay us a rental, but it's a reduced rent, and it's a great program for our seniors, and they do really good work. So we wanna help out any of those kinds of groups as best we can.
Okay. Recreation facilities and community investment. So council received updates on LED lighting, sports fields improvement. It seems that there's an increased demand for recreational facilities in this day and age. So what does the increase in these facilities tell us about recreation in North Glengarry? And will the township need to allocate more funding to facilities and program due to this increased demand?
So yeah, so that was a good news story. That we had already, as of that meeting, I believe, we were already at what we had done financially at the Dome for the entire year. So we still have, the October, November, December are busy months. So I think that bodes well for the future, and that's with any of our facilities. Is we're seeing good use of our facilities. Um, those programs generally run at a break even, so so not to cost the taxpayer. But at the same time, we have to invest in our facilities to keep them updated. So that's a constant.
And the LEDs, is that from on sports fields or soccer fields or?
That would be for soccer fields. So those lights, I can't remember
Yeah.
exactly which one we were talking about that night, but it's all of our. It's much better to have LEDs than the old halogen lighting that we
Yeah.
had. So that's what we're doing that with almost all of our facilities. So.
Okay. So grant funding opportunities. So the staff updated council on ongoing efforts to secure provincial and federal funding for recreation infrastructure projects. So I know we're back on
Mhm.
recreation, but are there any major funding opportunities to be watching for? Um, like I know grant writing is complex, but what are you looking for, and what does council have applied so far with?
So the priority right now is to apply for what we did in the Glengarry Sports Palace, to redo the slab, replace all the piping underneath. So that is
Is this
a
for the Maxwell
for the
Arena?
Maxville Arena. That needs to be done, and that is our priority. There is some government funding coming out right now through the provincial government, and I believe the federal government might be following suit with something. But we have a committee of volunteers that work together at the Maxville Sports Complex to we call it the Maxville Sports Complex Management Group.
Okay.
So they meet regularly with our staff, and they're busy sending out letters to MPPs as we speak to promote the project, and
So they're on the ball as well,
they're on the
committing
ball as well. So
to.
it's really a good partnership, and that is definitely our priority. We also have we've put in for the tennis courts at the park
Oh yes.
that need to get done. So we still have some work to do to bring all of our facilities up to snuff.
Okay. You have an animal control partnership. You receive an update on the new kennel services agreement with the Township of Russell. So some people would say, well, Russell's
Not
not
next
close,
door.
not next door. So what advantages does this regional partnership provide compared to operating independently? Is just sort of like a non-duplication of services, or
Yep.
is it in how will residents sort of benefit from this?
So we're going to continue doing what we do now. If we get a call, Todd, our bylaw enforcement officer, heads out. Tries to catch the dog, pick it up. We put it on Facebook, and generally, 9 times out of 10, the dog gets claimed. In that one instance that it wouldn't, we don't have proper facilities for a kennel, and it's expensive to set up, and then having weekend workers. So rather than that, we would bring it to Russell. And on some occasions, and that's the part that we're working on right now, is say our bylaw enforcement officer is away on vacation, or there's something, is that the Russell would cover those calls whenever they come in.
So they would actually come and
They're
get
just
the dog and
complementing the
come
service that we have right now,
yeah,
and they would actually
and
come.
provide the kennel services as
That's
well
right.
too.
Yeah, exactly. So again, we won't use it unless there's an instance where there's a dog that just isn't picked up. So, but again, most times,
Yeah.
once you put it on Facebook, that thing
Oh
gets
no,
shared
so,
100,
so
100, 200
yeah,
times.
I've had that situation, and within 20 minutes the dog was reunited with its owner. So
Yeah. So no, it's a great system, and of course the public is really good to share that. So.
okay. Now we have some building activity and growth. So the building department reported
Mhm.
strong permit activities, 137 building permits so far, approximately $17.5 million in construction value. So are there any particular sectors that are driving the increases, the reason for this?
So most of it is, in the past when we were, last year, for example, just there were some bigger projects happening, and included in this one there is a couple large barns that are being put up, and so that's making up for some of the portion of it, but mostly it's residential.
Okay.
We're seeing lots of buildings going up in the outer area. In Alexandria, we
Is
have.
it a big increase year over year from last year, or does it
Well,
seem?
yeah. So right now I think we're about, I think as Jacob had said, we're about 15 to 20 permits ahead.
Oh
So
wow.
it's, no, it's really good. We're happy with it. And, I give our planning department and building department, and our leader, the leader, Jacob, great credit. They're great to work with.
Would you say that that might be in part because of the confidence of people seeing the I know we talked about this, but the lagoon project
Yeah.
sort of coming to fruition,
Yeah.
and people sort of having a little bit of a vision, a little bit more for building and for infrastructure in the area.
Yes, absolutely. I think that the lagoon projects are what's going to open up development in North Glengarry. And when we talk about development, we're talking about smart, sustainable development, not just as in Kentville. Just I'm using them as an example where it just grew so fast.
Yeah.
We need to we want to keep our small town charm while at the same time increasing the population for that bodes well for the future.
Yeah. And I was driving around with my father last night, and he was even mentioning that he was mentioning what's going on with the lagoon, and I mentioned, I said, well, they're starting to open up. He says, oh, that's why we're seeing more houses, and I said,
Yeah.
so
Yep, for sure.
it's being noticed by the
Yep.
public. So roads and infrastructure. The Public Works Department, they report a successful completion of gravel resurfacing.
Yep.
And road improvement projects. So council noted positive feedback from residents regularly, particularly regarding reduced dust complaints.
Yes.
What priority or road priorities remain for future infrastructure work?
So right now you'll see on Main Street they're setting up for doing the. Last year we did this side of the road, and that we are doing the west side of the road this year.
Okay.
So on Main Street, so that is the sidewalks that we're completing for this year, and then coming up in the future, there's a new council starting, so there'll be a 4-year asset management plan that will outline, what roads are going to be done in the next 4 years, what sidewalks are we going to be doing, what bridges are we going to be doing. So we outline that for the new council does that right at the beginning and gets that report from staff. So
what about the Main Street downtown project? Is that still on the?
So that's not a
docket?
municipal. That's not the township.
se, no.
That is the United Counties.
Okay.
And yes, well, you can see they've been out doing test boreholes. They've had surveyors out there. We're getting shovel ready to do the Main Street project as soon as possible. Very much hoping that we get some funding. We are meeting with the provincial government at AMO in regards to the Main Street project. So that is our next big project.
But
It's
that's
also
the counties, right?
Yes, but we're meeting with them, and we've asked the counties to come with us because that is it's a big infrastructure for North Glengarry. So the counties know that this is the top priority in the counties. It's one of the most used roads. So yes, while it's a county project, we're still involved because one outside of the pavement is us. So we'll be having some public meetings coming up, probably hopefully in September, with residents to talk about plans on Main Street, and we encourage all residents and the business to come out and give their opinions on how they want to see.
And those meetings will be posted on social
They will
media
be
and
posted
on the township website.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay. Okay. Dunvegan Recreation Hall repairs. So council reviewed an engineering report recommending full replacement of the Dunvegan Recreational Hall floor structure. sort of following discovery that there's significant deterioration. It is an old, and it's
Yeah.
estimated at $200,000 for the cost. So how is council working with community partners to manage the cost of this project, and is it the council's responsibility, given that it's managed by the DRA? How it is shaping up?
So it's managed by the DRA, but it's owned by the township.
Okay.
So yes, we have to fix it. So we did get, that is an engineer's quote that we received. We feel, and I feel strongly, that once we get local contractors to bid on this, that the price will be significantly lower. And as far as paying for it, the township is looking at, that we would cover 50% up front. They had some money put aside already for this, and that's money that we funnel through to our community recreation associations. And so we're looking at, possibly a 25% fundraising goal that will
And
work.
the DRA is going to help in doing some
Absolutely, yeah. The DRA will be heading that. So it's important to keep. Again, this is a safety issue,
Yeah.
and that hall is it's an amazing hall.
It is. It's so cute. It's a 50s dance hall
Yeah.
with the
And they do great shows in there, and we just want to make sure that it's there for the future. And so this is it's an important project, and it needs to get done right away.
yeah. And what are you seeing timeline would be being for this?
So we've put out, we'll be putting out for tenders, if they're not already out, for requests to come in and have people come and look at the project and then give us quotes, and then we're moving on it ASAP. So
Okay. All right. So big picture. We're down to our final question. It was pretty. You had a pretty heavy July, and lots being done. So these meetings, these July meetings, seem to have reflected continued investment in recreation, infrastructure, regional partnership. But we did talk about this, a few episodes back, that as of later this month, the council will going into lame duck mode. So looking back at these two meetings, and as North Glengarry moves into the lame duck mode, maybe explain what lame duck is and how from now until election time, what's good, how is council going to be functioning?
So we still have two more meetings this month. One will be on the 20th, it's a Thursday. I believe that's a Thursday night.
Yeah.
We'll be doing, passing some, probably some of these tenders that we've been talking about, and then that'll be it. We won't. Everything will be turned over to the CAO. He obviously has an envelope of money that he's allowed to spend without having council.
So going into lame duck means that as of a certain date.
So as of the 21st, we will be lame duck. It's if 75% of your council is not coming back or challenged in the election, you become lame duck. So it's, most times we are always lame duck.
Yeah. So which means that at that point, as you say, that the CAO sort of temporarily takes charge of the finances too.
Exactly.
Of the council.
And some people would say, geez, would you trust that? Well, be very career limiting for a CAO to spend money that that wasn't discussed or in the budget. So it's a safe way to do things, and it's the way it should be done, so that councils aren't using meetings to campaign, close to, and handing out money or things like that prior to an election. So it's important.
But there still will be some meetings to.
We stopped that meetings. If we can still pass, bylaws or things like that, but we can't
spend money or there's some restrictions as to what we can do.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Well, thank you very much. I think it's been very informative. Going into right now, the next time we meet, we'll be in full campaign mode. So it'll switch things up a little bit. So we really do want to thank all of our viewers for watching, and we do want to remind the public that it does take some time and energy and efforts to put this together. But we really do thank the politicians, Jamie and Lachlan, your counterpart, for coming in. Very much appreciated. We believe that Glengarry is a special place to live. We really, really do. And there's so much going on. Sometimes people don't see what's going on, but it is a special place to live. So if you feel you want to become a patron and sponsor, or even help here in the studio, please contact us. We always answer your emails or take your calls, and we can find a place for you to do some work here at the studio. So watch for our posts on social media. And watch. There's going to be many things coming up in September. There's some, there's going to be the Glengarry Historical Society is getting back into their speaker series. They're the new go-to for things to do in Glengarry and in North Glengarry and in Glengarry. So lots planned for the fall for Glengarry TV. Again, thank you very much.
Thank
Look
you
for
very
us on
much.
social media, and we shall see you next month.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.